Welcome to Factorio Masterclass. My name is Nilaus, and we are back here on, we're continuing here on VULCANUS to just round off the last two sciences we want to make before we go into quality and then go on to other planets. Gleba, for example, is going to be the next challenge. So what are we missing? We're missing yellow and we're missing the metallurgic science. So we obviously have the metallurgic science somewhere up here in the corner, but let's make it sort of the same structure as the other ones so that there's a dedicated structure for it. We're going to start with the yellow science, and we're going to start with this design up here, because this was already ready for us. So that's going to be our baseline. Now I shouldn't use this one as I should use this one, because that's how I want all of these to be made. There. Like that. Put it in this corner. This is it. And they're all going to be 3.255. That's what all of them are. And then they'll eventually be upgraded from here. So, what we need to do is we need to figure out. So the first thing is load density structure and process units. They're brought in right here for the rocket silos. So I'm actually, and this might be a little cheating, I guess, but I'm going to bring it in here. Oh, why do I not have these? There we go. Oh, I was map mode. Haha. There. And the middle one is, of course, going to be the outbound, so it continues up here. And then the last one will be stuff coming down here. Oops. There we go. And that should get us pretty much what we want. We'll have to slide this one over to the side, otherwise it doesn't work. Okay, so what is it we want here? Yeah, let's see. We need to get outbound. These are going to be outbound here in the middle. I think that's... There. And then you can go here, because then I can also grab from the one that's furthest away. There. That kind of works. So they grab from this belt, they grab from, and they put out in the other belt. And that means these two are going to be the inverse. Good. That means I will do probably like this, so that you're going to be like that, and that works, which is also why it has to be set up that way. Let's see, that looks good. And then up here we're going to be doing more or less the same. This one will be in here, so grab, insert, and grab. That's fine. And these two, and then it'll be from here to here, so we can get the other one in, out, and go. Right, so that's working. Lights. Yeah. Right, so this is working. This is good. And we got the 3.255. Then moving down, we're going to get something else. Let's basically take something like this here. And take all the inner stuff out. There. And this will be... Oh, is there a worm? Oh, okay. It's not triggered. Whew. But it's close. There. Right. So let's see if this works. It does not. So we need a little bit more. What about this? Does this work? Yes, there's a slight surplus. Perfect. So this is how we're going to do that. Then we're going to be figuring out how many of the engines we need. And there and there. Yeah, and I'm going to get, oops, another one. There, because I don't want it to hit the top one. That's not great. That is not enough. Did I get it? Yeah, I didn't get it. Oh, right. There we go. Now I get it. And there, it's working. All right. And then I need just the last bits will be down here. They will definitely be enough, but I can't do less than this. Yeah. Okay. So that's actually not quite enough. Interestingly enough, but this is a smaller deficit than this is a surplus. So overall, we'll still get all of it. Yes. All right. So that's a pretty good way to make it. The interesting thing, though, is these have to be just a little bit down to make sure we have enough room, because they can just be directly inserted because it works like this. So that's brilliant. And we're going to get something inbound here. And we have to get... They don't need outbounds, but they do need steel inbound. Steel inbound, which also needs to go up, because this needs steel, this doesn't need steel. Engines are taken care of, the lubricant is taken care of, so I guess we'll do it like this. Here. And then this is for steel and green. Let's make steel and green on this one, because I need steel and green. This one needs green, so you can also get from this one. Good, so let's see. Let's make that pretend here. This will just be the two things we need. The gears are not used for anything else, so we'll just put gears in here. And pipes. Good, and grab and grab. Everyone's happy. Then they just need to get something from here. Whatever. And this will now be steel and green. There. So it goes in. Then we can say that, and that gets us the iron. This one and this one gets us also both the iron and the greens. So we need batteries, and we need this outbound. But this is also having another little issue, and that is that. So again, I'm going to make a little pretend here for now, and we'll come up, we'll design that later. We just want this one to flow properly. All right, what are we missing? We're missing batteries, and we are missing electric engines. They have to go on the same belt. So how do I get this? This kind of has to be on this belt then. Oh. That's going to be a problem. You can go to the side. Not a problem. Alright, so you can output here. And you can output here? It's not correct. It has to be like this, so they're on the same side of the belt. There we go. Then I'd also like to get something else on this belt. That would be batteries. Let's get some batteries in here. Yeah. Feel a little bit about this. Maybe I'll just do this one that just looks nicer. There we go. All right, so we have all the things we need, and then that can also be, oh dear, outbound. You're gonna get that inbound, and you're gonna get that inbound. So now you have everything inbound. You just need it to go out. That is on this belt and this belt. Sweet. That seems to work. All right. Could also do it like this. Maybe that'll look nicer. There. Right, but it's coming up here, and then we just need to do the same thing here. These two. This one will then jump these two, so it can grab, export, export. And the other one here is grab and export on this belt, which will now go up. All right, that works. Heights. So now it's only intermediates, and we'll also just do this one little pretend here, and that one will be LDS and blue. All right, and that actually means we are making it, right? It's not used. Oh, there we go. That didn't work. All right, it's working. Now, what we need to do now is the next part. Setting up all of these things here we need. Right, so let's start building all the smelting. We're gonna need a little bit of copper for the batteries. So let's start with that over in this corner. Here, batteries, and that's just gonna be a small build. We also need a little bit of coils for the green circuits. So we'll need to do a little bit of this. That works fine. We'll put these in when we don't need anything else. So this takes care of the copper and the coils. Then we want to do another one of these. And they should be 5 apart so that there's room for one of these in between. And we can do this design that we have been using before. This one. You like this design? Yeah. Good. And we obviously also need some power, so we can put that in here. Okay, so this will then be the iron part, because iron is also needed for quite a lot. We need iron for iron plates. Iron plates need to go into batteries, and they need to go into green circuits. We need to get more of that, I think. And then we need to make some gears and pipes. Pipes. And then steel is the last thing. Alright, let's kill this one. Steel. There. So that's all the things we need. And we can put another one in here. Right, so this takes care of all of this part, right? And if it's fast enough. It might not be, but maybe it is. So we're now getting this one started just to see what happens. What we need to do is take these two things and go out on this belt. That should be pretty doable. Here. And I'll do it like this. And we'll do this. Okay. So outbound and outbound. There we go. That gets this one done. And it's even the same place. It's great. Then we need to get steel out here. And I guess... Actually, this is too far away. Let's move it one closer to the edge here. There. No. That's a fine location. Great. You get moved one tile. Everything else is fine. Here. You're going to be outputting on the outside, and that means on the inside I need green circuits. Alright. But green circuits is also something we can actually just lean it right on there. Well, no, right there. Green circuits, yes. Lots of productivity modules, yes. And then it gets that one and that one. Cool. That can now be output. We don't need very many of this, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Let's also make sure we get here. These go over to where they need to go, and like this. So copper and iron is now on the belt. This will be for batteries, but this one we can just go over here. Oh, like that. Happy? And I think I'm actually going to do this. Oops. And filter the greens to the side. To the side. There you go. So that gets us the green, and that means this is working. Next one is batteries, because if I can then get batteries in right here, then on the top line, so that's going to be our objective, getting batteries in on this line. And that requires some chemical plants. Let's see, how close can we make this? 1, 2, 3. We'll see how many I need. And they're going to be batteries. Right. Where's my output? Are going to be... I guess I'm going to come in from this side here. And then jump from here to here. Good. And that means I can now get that as an output. 1, 2, 3 output. And 1, 2, 3 input. Okay, 3. Looks nicer. And just a power pole. Just we'll just do a basic one. Like this, so it matches. This is good, and that goes in. Should be on the top side. It doesn't work because it doesn't have any sulfuric acid, so we're gonna sneak sulfuric acid over here because we actually need it as well for something else. So, yeah, probably like this. So this will be sulfuric acid. And it goes in. We'll invent it. That's a base material, so that's just something we have. It goes up, goes up. We get a little bit of this. This is, of course, way too slow, so we're going to need to get a beacon in here, because that beacons will affect here. Getting that from whatever up to 14.4, and these are now producing very little, actually. How much batteries do we need? 1.6. And this is 1.9. Okay, so we're producing enough batteries and it is working. Great, all this is working. The only thing we're missing is this part here. So let's do that. We can do that if I can find that material here. I can build that like this, because then I can just leach that in from this side. And that will be the basic one. Yes. That's just going to be the basic one. We don't need very much. And we need you just going like this. Good. And like this. And that will be lubricant. How much lubricant do I need for this? 10. Oh, that's funny. You're producing 10. No! I wonder if that 10.2. What if I only produced 8? Then I'm gonna get slightly less. I think that'll be fine, right? 0.2. There's not a big surplus here. I'm gonna have to do that just in case. And you're producing 10 per second. Then I also need to produce one more of these, just because. And that means I actually need a little bit, not much. And that can go in here. 50, and whether you get this in on a belt or not, it doesn't matter. I just do it this way because that will work fine. And this is now missing the, yeah. I guess we could also use productivity modules here to get free stuff. It'll still be producing more. Yes. Okay. So this one also productivity modules. There we go. That'll also be 14.5. This is consuming 12, so it's fine. And it goes up, and everything is working. Good. These ones just need to be requesters instead. There and there. Oops, that now got deleted or reversed. There we go. Good, so that's the purple signs, or the yellow signs. It's pretty simple. If we just look at the whole damn thing and just see that everything is positive. The ones that are not positive, this one we have covered. This one, the iron looks like it's not positive, but that's because there's a huge surplus of greens and that doesn't need to be running all the time. Same with the copper cables. The iron is also the same because I'm consuming a lot for this part. I don't think that's going to be a problem. We might want to just monitor it just to see, because I think a lot of things are overbuilding. Like here, there's basically twice as much steel. There's way more. I use 0.5 and I have 6 here. I use 1 and I use 6 here. So definitely not a worthwhile thing. So that's our yellow signs for now. The final signs we want to make here on VULCANUS, even though it's a remake, then we kind of have to do it anyway, because at the time we built the initial, we couldn't afford this and these city blocks. So building it as city blocks just didn't make any sense at the time. So we had to build something temporary, and now we have the opportunity to remake it as we want. Good. This is, we absolutely need productivity modules. There's no reason not to do that. Okay, 2.9, that's unfortunately not fast enough. So can we just do this? So that was a little bit too fast, but it needs to be at least as fast as the other ones. And there. So that's the two things we get in, the tungsten carbide and the tungsten plate, and then we also need some molten copper. So let's molten copper, we'll find a way to get that in here somehow. And then we just need to get it out like that. Very simple indeed. So let's work on the next part. The next part is going to be down here. This will be the tungsten plate, not purple steel. Okay, this is definitely going to need some beacons. Not even close. And this. Still not. One more. Yay! Okay, so this is it. What do we need for this? We need some molten iron as well. Very, very little molten iron, so that's not really a concern. So, but we still need to make it. There. Hello, worm. Right, so that will go out here. Pretty simple. Output, output. Yes? No. Not output, output. I think this whole thing needs to be moved a little bit. There. Why? Because I need this to go a little further out. Because I want this to go in. Like that. Alright. Oh, hold on. I can actually do this. Then I can bring it a little bit back. Damn, that worm is annoying. Someone really should deal with it. Alright, so why like this? Because then we can get in from both sides. Because I am going to need this as the inbound. I just know that's going to happen. So inbound, it's fine. I'm going to get another power line down here. So this will be the inbound because then we can get the other thing also on here as the outbound as well. And that's the carbide. Since we're going to use the same thing, we're going to need the same input here, here, and then they need to find a way to get out. And that's going to be like this. That goes out, merges in here, goes up. Looks a little bit too complicated, but it actually is making sense, I think. All right. These, let's see if the ratio is good. It's not quite. Huh. Is that a problem? Maybe? I don't know if I can make it a little bit better. What if we squeeze some things here? Like what if this thing here is moved one up? Then it's affecting here. Then it's suddenly a positive number. I like positive numbers. But that doesn't really help for the next one. Oh, that's chemical plants. There. Does that work? No. Does it work if they have extra productivity? Absolutely not. That just makes it even worse. Alright, so somehow we need to make this better. I think it's just probably better to do that and then just say whatever. Here? This is definitely still not enough. That's so weird. So weird that this is so not matching. I really thought that these two would be... Oh, right. Oh, I forgot this. Oh no. Everything is awful. Let's check this out. What about now? Oh, that's so close. I might just accept that. What about you now? Oh, that's so close. That means like minor deficits, but this is still producing more than the 3.255 that I want. So I'm going to just accept this and be like, yeah, look at that. Perfect ratio. And direct insertion is always nice. And they need to get something inbound here from a random coal plant. There we go. So coal comes in here. This. Seems like the way that I want to do this. And we also need to get the copper somehow inbound here. Okay, so now we have sulfuric acid, copper. Let's actually just try all of this now, just to make sure that it works. So this is going to be molten iron there. This is going to be molten copper. This is going to be something, sulfuric acid. And this is going to be tungsten ore. And the last one here is going to be coal. Let's see if that works. Let's try and kind of do a little bit in the middle. Yes, they're outputting. They're going out here. They are looking happy. And it's moving up. Good. Alright, so the only thing we're missing at this point now is, well, the production of all this. So we need some copper, some iron, and yeah, so the copper is probably the bigger issue. So let's start working on this here. This will be the copper, and another copper here. 5 in between. Why? Because then we can use this that we've used so many times before. Let's use it one more time. Like that. Here. Right, and I'm also going to get one more. This definitely needs beacons, right? Because this is going to be very quick. And this here. I don't know if that's a good idea. How much do I need? Okay, copper's fine. Okay, I don't know if I need this, because this also like a little bit weird to add something where we save on lava. So maybe, what if we just do it like this? Lava's still fine. Okay, or this one. There you go. But we do need a beacon. Then we need the other one here. This is going to be the molten iron. Let's go molten iron up here. Yep. Like that. And then this one needs to go... like this. And then it gets inbound. And then... I guess like this. For a turn. Yeah. This seems weird. This is not... oh, right. This is not it. This is... it's this one I needed. Okay. I was just getting weirded out. Yep. And then we need the... molten... and a molten inbound. Yeah. There you go. And what else are we missing? Nothing else, I think. I just need to bring these in. Actually... not you. Here. Got it. And this one. As far down as possible. Oh, one. Really? Okay. Whatever. I'll build the whole damn thing. One further down. Right? That seems weird. Like, I want this to be one further down, which means the whole thing has to be one further down here. There. But then you can't reach. That means this damn thing has to be one further down. Just the whole thing cascades just to make it a little tiny bit aligned, or better aligned. There we go. This one can also just come in from here. Up and in and jump over all of this and go up. Right, the same with the coal. Like that. Okay, then this looks better. And anything else? Yeah, this lava is missing. So let's get the lava inbound, and then the whole thing should be working. That goes up. You have what you need. You have what you need. All these have what they need. You are not outbound. Oh, that's just because this is too slow. Oh, it's been lagging behind. Okay. But if we look at the whole thing, the entire build together, slight deficit, we don't care. Stone should always be a deficit because that means we can consume all of it, and that means we have not quite 3.784, so it's 6, but a little bit less because there's a little bit of slowness. But that is also our work. And as usual, we are able to upgrade these to rare quality, which we'll just do. Normal to rare, that one, and also the beacon, this one, and also the beacons. And then we see the ratio here. Everything looks good. We're coming up to 11.2, like all the other ones. These two are still not a problem because we have such a massive surplus up here. And then everything else is good. This one, also, everything is positive, and this one jumps up to 12. So, obviously, let's get this back down to normal again. There. Back down to normal because we prefer having it in normal format. And one thing I want to add is I'm adding this with 16, which is way too much. So I think that for recommendation, would be probably in the beginning, I probably would start with something like this. Here. For each of them, and then just have 4 of them, and then scale up later on if needed. And you can then say, oh, but couldn't you then build it inside? Well, no, and no, and kind of no. So this is how I want it. I want the separate blocks for launching, and I want to be able to launch a lot at the same time. It's just how I prefer doing it. This is a one-time cost, so even though it's expensive to build rocket silos, then as you build it once, then after that it doesn't really matter because you have built it, and then you don't need to. It's not a continuous cost. It's a fixed, one-time fixed cost. Cool. So those are the 2 last blueprints of the design for modular city block-based starter signs on VULCANUS. And with that, we can actually go to Clever and start unlocking the better productivity modules and stack inserters and all the nightmare that is Clever. Maybe we probably just need to get started on modules first, so we can get that chugging along here before we head out. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, as usual, for Patreon supporters, I have wrapped these blueprints up in neat little blueprint package, so you can download them for your own game if you want that. So thank you for watching, thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care and stay effective.